Welcome to the Vault Studios NFL podcast, an Australian twist on all things NFL. The boys are cracking into a nice cold beer from Burnley Brewing. Let's join them.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, JA, and I am joined this week in the fortnightly rotation by Richard Garraway. How are you, buddy?
Excellent, Jay. How are you, mate?
Good. We've got a few days from Christmas.
It is.
Now, we are a night earlier than what we normally are because I have to go away for Christmas tomorrow. So thank you, Richie, for getting on a night earlier. So there is a game tomorrow which we're going to spend zero time on, because if the Steelers can't beat the Bengals without Joe Burrows, then they shouldn't even be allowed to be. They should go to the NFC East if they can't beat the Bengals tomorrow. So I'm just going to assume through the whole night, Richie, that they've won, and we're ticking them off as winners when we talk about all playoffs and stuff like that. If you feel any differently,
they're $1.10 favourites. No, I don't.
No, I think they'll be just fine. Want to start with thanking our sponsors. I'm having a delicious draft from Burnley Brewing tonight. Thank you very much, guys. I went and picked up some beer last week. As always, very accommodating, very nice. So it was great to catch up with everyone down there. And we'll have to get in there in the new year for a few beers and a feed. So 648 Bridge Road, Richmond. If you are in Melbourne or you're travelling to Melbourne, visiting Melbourne, hopefully not from Sydney, stay out, you coronavirus bastards. But if you are visiting, head in there and have a feed and have a few beers. It's an awesome venue. And Breaking Oz Memorabilia. Thanks to the boys there for all their support. And I guess that's kind of it, Richie. Let's get straight into it. Let's get into the Raiders. Whose fairy tale is well and truly faded. I think about a month ago we thought they were going to roll home and make the playoffs. Overtime loss to the Chargers on Friday, it was our time, so Thursday Night Football. They're now 7-7. They're well on the outside. They're 9-5. They're 2 games behind the Ravens now, who are the 8th seed. So I don't see them catching up. But I don't know. Is it unfair that I thought they were a playoff team this year? Like, have they got that much talent, really?
Is it unfair? No, I don't think so. They started strong, and as it turns out, it wasn't the strongest of competition that they had to face. But they really did kind of fall in a bit of a heap. They really couldn't work out how to use Ruggs, and he got nicked up a few times. They had some corona issues as well, which also didn't help. Yep. So, look, all in all, I think they're trending in the right direction. They'll be disappointed. I think they would have thought they were on their way to a playoff berth this year. They're in a very difficult division. Like, it's never going to be easy when you got the Chiefs, sitting atop, even though they are the one team to beat them. I think their biggest problem is they play to their competition.
Yeah, definitely. Which is a sign of a young team and an up-and-coming team, I think.
Yep, when they need to get up, you better believe they're up. But if they roll in thinking they're probably going to win, they are going to play down. And that's probably the number one thing that John Gruden has to address in the offseason with the rest of his staff. Get some more talent in and see where they can take it.
Yeah, I certainly don't think their year is disappointing. I don't think they're disappointing this year. I think they were probably, when we think back, probably right where we thought they would be. You know, I don't think any of us had them in the playoffs. I don't think I did, but I don't think either of us had them in the playoffs. I think we had them just on the outside. But quickly, before we move on from that game, Justin Herbert, 300 yards this game. That's a rookie record. I don't know. I think he's really good and he's had a good year. I feel like there's been better rookies than him this year. Like, I think Justin Jefferson's been better than him this year.
It's funny. I remember, I was going to talk about this tonight because when we were talking about Jefferson 2 weeks ago, Herbert is going to smash every rookie quarterback record there is. He's going to destroy them all.
So he's going to win it.
So he's going to win it by miles. And quite frankly, as he should, have a look around the talent that's playing with him and the coaching staff who I swear are actively trying to get in his way.
The offensive line is dismal. It's one of the worst offensive lines in the league by far. His receiving talent is good. I'm not going to Allen, Mike Williams, they're good.
They didn't play on the weekend.
No, Keenan Allen barely played.
Allen played, but he was injured. I think he only played in about 10 snaps.
Yeah, he barely played.
Williams didn't play. Eckler's been out. He was out for 8 weeks or something with that hamstring injury. No, he's back now, but That's really just to get
James played.
Who?
Derwin James, the safety, played.
Yeah, I did see that. So
incredible.
There's a ton of talent there.
Yeah.
And this is why we talk about it every week. We all like Lynn. Seems like a good guy, and I'm sure he's a good football coach.
Don't like the coach.
But he's not the right guy for this team.
Do you know what he'll be great at? He'll be great at being a special teams coordinator for 20 years in the NFL. Because that's what his background is. Maybe an offensive coordinator, maybe, but that's not really his thing. I know he was a former running back, but he was mainly a special teams guy. We'll see. I think he's definitely gone. I think the hot favorite, that will be one of the most desirable coaching places, which we'll discuss when the season ends, when all the coaches get fired, the desirable spots. But that'll be like, can you imagine someone like Eric Bieniemy from Kansas City rolling into there? You got an electrically athletic, multi-skilled running back, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, great tight end already.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is fix up that O-line, which people have shown isn't that hard. If you can hit on a few guys in the draft, you can improve pretty quickly at the offensive line.
What have we talked about? Like, if you look at the amount of good linemen who came out of the draft just gone, and you think about, obviously, Browns hit on because he fell to them. Yep.
Andrew Thomas from the Giants. He played pretty well today against Myles Garrett. I've been down on him. He was pretty good today. I'll give him credit.
And I think he's going to be a starter. Tampa Bay got Wirfs. There's plenty of linemen in the first round. They're easy to get, and you're going to have a relatively high pick.
Mekhi Becton. I watched the Jets game. Mekhi Becton. Well, we're going to segue over to the Jets. The Jets, they win their defeated season, win the game over the Rams of all teams. Mekhi Becton, he's the best player on the Jets. It's not even close. He is an outstanding football player. He's going to be like the all-pro left tackle for the next 10 years. He could potentially be the next Joe Thomas. That sort of quality.
And that's what it's all about. Use a couple of first-round picks on linemen. You overpay for the best free agent, and all of a sudden your O-line problem's fixed.
Yep.
Like I heard a really good, I can't remember who was talking about it during the week on one of the podcasts I was listening to. They're talking about your rebuild should only take 2 years in the NFL. If it takes more, you failed.
Yep.
You know? Yep. So if you look,
Jets got a win today over the Rams of all teams.
In LA.
Yeah, in LA. How pissed off are you if you're Sean McVay right now? You now fall 2 games behind the Seahawks. Like the Seahawks are going to win the division now. I'm almost certain of it. Like who have the Seahawks got for the next? I'm just getting it up. They play the Rams this week. So this is decided this week. The Seahawks win the game this week. It's on, and it's at home. It's in Seattle. That's tough. Yeah. Like hopefully this loss lights a bit of a fire in their belly. Then the Seahawks then go to San Fran, which we all saw what the mighty Cowboys did to them today.
And the Rams finish with the Cardinals.
Arizona, which the Arizona will probably need that win at that point. So it'll
probably both will.
Yeah. It's very, very interesting, but I did not think the Jets were going to win a game. I cannot believe they beat the Rams. I've got real concerns for Jared Goff. He just keeps having these moments where he's just dreadful. Like the Super Bowl last year. Was it last year or year before? Last year, Super Bowl. When did the Patriots win? Year before.
Year before.
Year before. So like he had that dreadful game there. Their defense is now the strength of this team, which I'm sure wasn't McVay's plan coming into the year. They've got a lot of good football players on that team. I don't know. I think Goff is what's going to hold them back.
Yeah, I think so too. So in the offseason, I mean, they re-upped him, so I'd have to look up what the cap hit is. But you go get Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Somebody like that. Matt Ryan, although he's good at choking away leads too, so maybe you don't want him. But, do you go get that kind of guy? Because they're probably going to be available.
I don't know. If Matthew Stafford's on the table, if I'm the Colts, I am throwing every single resource I have at him. Everything.
He could have the kind of finish to his career like Carson Palmer did in Arizona. Where Carson Palmer. Remember when Palmer?
Also Kurt Warner in Arizona when he went to the Super Bowl and lost on the last play of the game to Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, those you can have a resurgence at the end of your career if you're somebody like a Matthew Stafford, where you get off your schneidi, crummy team,
Yeah.
and go somewhere with a good coach. Although, quite frankly, if I was the Saints, I would just do everything to get Matt Stafford in the building.
I think there's going to be a few teams that'll be doing everything to get him in the building.
Exactly.
If he's free agency, I can't imagine what he's going to get paid. He'll get Mahomes money for at least 2 years.
Yeah, he just won't get the length.
He'll get 45 million, though, for a year.
Every chance. Like, if you got it in the cap for that 1 year, why not?
Yep, 100%. 100%.
Because you want to try and bring him in. But either way, just sort of come back to the Jets. You and I talked about this today during the day. And as I said, the coach and the players are trying their guts out.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be on that list of 0-16 teams.
No.
Nobody wants to be mentioned with the Lions in 2017. 2008, and the Browns in 2017. Nobody wants to be mentioned in the same breath as them. You don't want that on your career, because if you're the Jets coaching staff, you're getting fired.
Yeah,
so
100%. You do.
Everything you have to do now was to stop going belly up. You had to get a win somewhere to say, hey, we rallied, we beat a playoff team, and in their building on the run home, they didn't quit on me. All those things. And the players, they don't want to lose. Losing sucks. Losing local footy sucks. So, they're going to bat on people, they're professionals, they don't care. Nah, they do care, because you've had that job where going to work every day sucked, and that would have sucked. So this week of practice for the Jets, they will feel amazing in that building. Like, they earned this win. They outplayed them.
They did, 100% they did. I can't believe it still, to be honest.
Yeah.
When
I don't know how, but they
Rams
did.
storm home in bed, and they should have beat the Raiders 2 weeks ago. Like, if Greg Williams wasn't a total dickhead and did an all-out blitz with Henry Ruggs one-on-one, God, anyway, they could have won 2 in a row. So they're playing a lot better. It's not due to Adam Gase. It's due to players. It's desperation. No one wants to be part of an 0-16 team. No one.
No. Now they're not, which is good for them. And I think they've got the right GM in place. So they're just got to go find the right coach. And
the only issue is now the Jaguars have the number 1 pick.
Yeah, no, I forgot that Jags win was week 1. So long ago.
Over the Colts are kicking themselves for that now.
Well, they'd be leading the division if they'd won it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't see any wins for the Jags on their slate. So, look, if you're the Jets now, you're not getting Lawrence. And you know what? When I watched Darnold today, I don't know if they need him. Like, he could be really good, but it could be a bust. It's an NFL first-round pick. They're 50-50.
I would draft the best player in the draft at number 2 and roll with Darnold for 1 more year. Give him his 5th-year option, 1 more chance. 100%. You know what? There's going to be another Lawrence next year. There's going to be another Lawrence the year after. Unfortunately, like if Darnold ends up being a bust, which I'm still not sold, there's going to be another guy when you go 1-16 again. You're going to get a top 3 or 4. You know what? Maybe next year there's 3 guys. Maybe next year the Joe Burrows appears. Maybe you nail him this year in the 3rd. Yeah. Who knows?
And as always said, there's always Mahomes that goes at 9. There's always Jackson who goes at 32, and then there's your mate Dak Prescott goes in the 3rd round.
Exactly.
No one gets Brady's anymore. That does not happen.
Even like Dalton in the 2nd round. Like, Dalton's been a really good football player for a long time. The Bengals are not regretting that draft pick in any way of Andy Dalton in the 2nd round. No. It was a steal. So
they can get one.
Yeah,
build around him. Get the best player. It'll probably be an O lineman or a D lineman. Go get him and start to build.
Where did Buffalo get Josh Allen a couple of years ago? 9, was it? 9, and they just won.
3rd quarterback taken.
Yeah, they just won the East for the first time in 25 years. Did you see the video of them coming back on the plane? Sean McDermott.
Pretty happy.
How do you not cry? Like, honestly, mate, can you imagine a town, like a city rallying around you like that? He must feel and then here's a prime example. He took that team over. They were dreadful. First year, not so great. Everyone thought Josh Allen, I was the same. I didn't think Josh Allen was going to be very good. 2nd year, better playoff team. Still, Josh Allen was what you felt was the issue. You felt if Josh Allen could develop, they could be a really good team. I've watched a lot of Josh Allen this year. He is I don't think he's like a top 3 or 4 quarterback. I think he's going to be a very good quarterback for a very long time. There are not many guys that have the skill set that he has. And when you put that talent around him, Stephon Diggs is up there right now as the best receiver, with one of the best receivers.
Playing great.
He has had a terrific year. He just looks uncoverable at all times. It makes you think, what were the Vikings actually doing with him? But, but then you see Justin Jefferson's taking his spot and is excelling there as well. So maybe a breakup. Sometimes breakups need to happen, Rich. We know this, don't we? We know this in relationships. Same with football. Sometimes a breakup has to happen for both parties to be better. And I think it has worked very well for them. They went and got Jefferson. He's turned into an instant star. Diggs went to Buffalo. He's an instant star there. It's worked great. But Buffalo Bills, AFC East championships, I was really happy for him. I like Sean McDermott. I thought he was a great coach when he was at Carolina. He was a defensive coach there. He was part of the reason they made it to the Super Bowl that year. It actually wasn't Cam as much as it was him, I don't think. But that defense was strong. And he seems to have the team buy-in. And that's what I like that. I like when players love their coach. It's fun to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And they're all pulling in the same direction. Yeah. I think you're right about Allen. I think he's going to have I'm not trying to say this as an insult, but a kind of a Matt Ryan type career where he's going to be really good for a long time.
Same name before.
He's just going to be more athletic. He's just more athletic. That's being more athletic. That's the main difference.
Matt Ryan became the fastest player to whatever amount of yards, 54,000 yards, whatever it was. I don't know exactly what it was. The fastest player ever. He jumped in front of Peyton Manning. Matt Ryan's going to end up with Hall of Fame numbers. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. I'd put him in over Eli.
He's a better quarterback than Eli. No
Matt Ryan should walk into the Hall of Fame over Eli Manning. Walk into it. He's a much better player. And you know what? If 28-3 doesn't happen, he's probably penciled in already. But it did. Bill, though. And you're right. Sorry, I jumped off. Josh Allen, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Matt Ryan, he won an MVP one year, and I think Josh Allen's one of those guys that definitely could win an MVP. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady that win 4 or 5 of them, but he's kind of that one-off guy that could win it. I think he's going to have a long career, and if they keep building around him like they have, the good thing with a guy like Josh Allen is, talk about offensive line, you don't have to have as good an offensive line with a guy like that for pass protection purposes because he can move. He can get away from people. He's one of the best on the run. He's one of the best passers of the ball on the run in the league by far. He's inaccurate at times, but he's got that erratic style, very similar to Cam Newton back in the day, still, that he'll just whiff a throw completely. But he also makes these throws where you just look at it and you're like, wow, how did he make that throw?
He's got far better mechanics than Cam Newton does.
Way better.
Astronomical.
And I don't mean to rag on Cam Newton, but not as much of an idiot. Not as much carry on with him. He just seems to go about it, Josh Allen, which I like. He's very good with the media, says all the right things, answers the questions properly, and people can go, oh, what do you want? What do you want, just a robot that answers? Yep, that's 100% what I want at my quarterback position. I would give me Russell Wilson, who just answers the questions the right way every time, because you know what you never get with that? You never get drama. A guy that just answers it right every time. I do want a robot to the media. Behind closed doors, he's probably a great dude, probably has a beer with all his mates, I don't know. But to the media, you would never know. Just answer the questions properly the way your team would want it to be answered. That's what I would want from my quarterback. So I like Josh Allen. I like the Bills. They're the 3 seed right now. I think they'll struggle to jump. Although Steelers have not been too convincing and they're only a game up on them. So I think it'll be tough. Steelers will have to lose tomorrow, which we're basically penciling in as a win, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that'll give them 12 wins, so they'd be a game up on the Bills, obviously, with each of them with 2 to go.
Got the tie break.
Steelers finished with the Colts and the Browns, though.
Yeah, it's a tough one. They could easily lose both of them, or definitely one of them. Who have Bills got? I think they've got
Patriots and Dolphins.
Yeah, there's a good chance Bills win the next 2. And again, talking of Dolphins and the Patriots, the Dolphins eliminated the Patriots from the playoffs today. I know I can't wipe the smile off my face. I'm kind of happy. About it. I don't care. And I'm not happy about it because I dislike the Patriots. I respect the hell out of the Patriots organization. I'm happy that Super Bowl day at the Sporting Globe in Churnside Park, Richie, which I hope you'll be there.
I might.
You'll be there, buddy. You'll be there. Either way, I I cannot wait to see all the brand new Patriots jerseys and just have a good giggle to myself. Because normally you want to like give them a hard time, but they're playing in the Super Bowl, so it's really hard to get stuck into them. But I think it'll be good this year because they won't be there. I'm just going to say, though, I'm not buying the Dolphins. I like them. I think they're a massive jump. They're very well coached. They rely heavily on special teams and defensive turnovers. Mm-hmm. If you ask me, the Ravens, they're now tied on win-loss with the Ravens. I want the Ravens in over the Dolphins. I'm sorry. They're just a better football team to watch. That they are. The Ravens are a better chance. I don't think the Dolphins can win the Super Bowl this season. I think they're trending in the right direction. And similar to Buffalo, we talked about last year, I think they're trending that way. I don't think they can win a Super Bowl this year. I think the Ravens can. I think the Ravens could win a Super Bowl if things go right. They're playing really well the last couple of weeks. I think they definitely could win it. So I want them in the 7, not the Dolphins. And I think schedule will kind of help us there because you've got Miami. They've got Las Vegas. No, they've got
Bills and someone.
Las Vegas this week, who just got pretty much eliminated. So they're at Las Vegas. So I'd expect them to win that, but I wouldn't be shocked. And then they're at Buffalo. Who knows? Buffalo might have locked up a seed then and not play their starters. Miami might backdoor this because I know we talked a couple of weeks ago and Baltimore have a very easy run home. They've got Giants and Cincinnati. So they're home to the Giants this week and then at Cincinnati. They'll win both those games. There's a real chance that the Dolphins and the Ravens both go 11-5 here and the Ravens miss out with 11 wins.
The battle for the wild cards right now, even with the extra one, like, can you imagine we didn't have the extra one this year in the AFC?
There'd been 10-win team missing out here.
Yeah, it's very much the haves and the have-nots in the AFC this year. You've either got it 10+ wins or you're nowhere. Yeah. It's a really interesting playoff picture this year. It's going to come down the wire because the Titans and the Colts is going to come to the end. Either could win out. Yeah, the Browns theoretically should be tomorrow 2 games behind the Steelers, but the Ravens are only 1 game behind them. The Browns have a game with the Steelers at the end, so they can get there. Obviously, the Dolphins have got 9 wins as well.
Are you buying the Dolphins though? I don't.
No, I don't think. I genuinely don't think they have enough talent. They might be good enough to make the playoffs. Yeah, but they're a first week exit.
If you could have Raiders or Dolphins, who are you having?
For this year or for next year?
This year, for this season in the playoffs. The 7th seed was Dolphins or Ravens. Who you want Ravens?
Yeah, I'd rather the Ravens in. I think.
Yeah, it'd make a better playoff run. Like you're going to get the Dolphins going to Pittsburgh right now. That'd be a fun playoff game. That's a good playoff game. Whereas I guarantee if the Dolphins go to Pittsburgh, I can almost write the script.
Yeah.
I don't think they can score enough to beat Pittsburgh, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of don't trust Pittsburgh right now. We'll know more tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, say the Browns jump up 2 spots and win the division and get the 2 seed. I don't think the Dolphins can score 20 points a game in a playoff game on the road.
No, the Browns will score 21 and beat you because that's what they do.
Crap out of the ball.
The Browns choke the life out of you. That's how they play.
I love the new Browns.
Great.
Baker's playing really well.
Stefanski just knows how to use him.
Well, we didn't talk last week. I had DJ in last week when they were playing Baltimore, which they lost in the end. I thought Baker was going to throw the towel in. He had that look in his eye. He threw that pick, which went down to like the 1 yard line. Ravens got a 2-score lead, and I thought, we're going to have an implosion here. But no, he put his big boy pants on, went out and played a great game. And then this week, he was outstanding. I know they didn't play anyone. The Giants. Well, hey, the Giants have been on a roll, so they're not a terrible football team. He went out there and he played really well against them, consistent, made all the right decisions. He's not turning the ball over. He's playing really good football, Baker. I'm really enjoying him at the moment. I'm enjoying his attitude too. He looks fresh. He looks happy. Confident.
I'm buying a ton of Brown stock. When they cut Odell Beckham in the offseason, I'll buy even more.
Mate, I reckon they could trade him. I reckon they could get 2nd-round picks for him. Actually, just while we're talking like Browns, Ravens, Steelers, did you see Des Bryant caught a touchdown today?
I did. First time in 3 years.
I was very happy for him.
Yeah, it was cool.
he went over to the sideline and he hugged Gruden and Harbrow, and I imagine he said something like, "Thank you for giving me a chance," something like that, but very emotional. I've always loved Des. I think people forget how damn good a player he was at the Cowboys. Exceptional. He had 3 or 4 years where he had 16 touchdowns one year. That's the Cowboys' record. Michael Irvin never did that. He was one of the best receivers. You would get inside the 5 and you would be like, hey, he's going to throw a fade route. And you just knew every time he was going to score. They could put 2 on him. It wouldn't matter. He would score every single time when you got inside. He was awesome to watch. I think people forget that. I've got a soft spot for Des. I think I always will. Injuries rallied that back end of his career. You know, he got signed by the Saints last year, blew his Achilles out, first preseason game. He's had a bad run. I would love nothing more than to him become a viable receiver in the NFL again. I would really enjoy it. So congratulations, Des. It was good to see. And he's passionate. I like that. Let's quickly talk Colts and Titans. They both win this week. They're having the fight for that division, doing really well. They don't play each other though, do they? I'm certain they don't.
No, Titans play the Packers and the Texans. And then Colts finish with the Steelers and the Jags. They're both going to win out.
You reckon Colts going to beat the Steelers next week?
Yeah, I'm off the Steelers big time. Even though they were my big pick this year, I just don't like where they're headed. Rivers
is playing very well. He played a good game on the week when he had to. He's obviously not exceptional. When he had to, he was pretty good. I'm buying Colts stock. I think both these teams are playoff teams. The only problem is Tennessee have the head-to-head, right? They're tied on games right now. So really, Tennessee would have to lose out and the Colts would have to win out for them to get a game up on them. Is that right? No, they'd have to.
No.
So say Tennessee lose to Green Bay and beat Houston and then Colts win out, they win the division by a game.
Yeah.
But if they both win out or both lose out, then
the Titans
get it. Or if they both win one each. Yeah, it's going to be tight. I'm enjoying it though. I don't think if I'm any of those teams, will they end up playing each other? 4 will play 6, yeah? Does 4 play 5?
No, it's different because 1 has the bye.
1 has the bye. 2 plays
7.
3 plays 6. 4 plays 5. I would love for somehow the Colts and Titans to jump each other and be the 4 and 5 and play each other in the playoffs.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will because the other one's record will be too good.
Yeah, I think if they both win out.
I don't think they'll land on each other.
Well, if they both win out and the Browns lose out, they could do it. It'll be tough. But it'd be interesting, like Colts or Titans versus Steelers right now. I'd be taking the Colts. They said you're taking the Colts this week against the Steelers. I'd be taking the Colts and all the Titans in that playoff game over Steelers at the moment. They've got a bit of work to do. The Steelers are banged up a bit on defense as well. They've got a lot of injuries to their linebackers. Like TJ Watt's their only healthy linebacker. It's hard when you lose that many guys at the same spot. So
yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm not saying they're fully healthy and playing crummy, but they've got to get it fixed.
They've got to get a running game going again as well. That's what they
Connor, trust me, someone has Connor on their fantasy team all year. He's done nothing. They've got to get either more backs to give him, different dynamics or get him going.
Bring back Bell.
Bell barely gets a touch.
Yeah, you only played today because Edwards-Helaire got hurt. Actually, speaking of that game, Saints slow start against the Chiefs. Drew Brees looked really rusty, really rusty. Second half, though, I'll give credit when credit's due. He was very good in the second half, Drew Brees. I was starting to think, the Saints really a contender? Like, can they really win it? Like, is Brees done? He's a bit cooked, but second half, much, much, much better performance from Drew Brees. It was just that Mahomes was too good. The defense couldn't stop him. Mahomes on a bad day is too good. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that defense is probably one of the best in the NFC. So, the Saints survived. Brees not being there. You're right. He started super rusty and looked old because he's old. But he clearly warmed up or the painkillers kicked in or whatever in the second half and he got going. Yeah. So I'm not worried about the Saints. I think them and the Packers are the class of the NFC. Even though the Packers are far from convincing, they've just got those two teams have more talent Just simple as that.
I'm people saying, like, people getting on Rodgers now that he's not an MVP now because of that game. Like, he had an average game against a bad team and they still won it by 2 touchdowns. Like,
exactly.
I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. You reckon if Carolina had got close, he wouldn't have put a game-winning drive together?
Exactly.
He was going through the motions. Everyone can have a down week like that. You just can't have it against someone good. And Rodgers hasn't had it against someone good. He's the walk-home MVP for me right now. Like, I know Mahomes has been outstanding, but Mahomes has a lot more talent around him than Aaron Rodgers does.
Oh,
a lot more. Tons more. Yeah. So I'm buying Rodgers as the MVP. I'm not worried about the Saints, though. I don't think they can catch the Packers. I think the Packers will they've clinched the division now. They're a game above the Saints. What's their run home? I believe it's pretty favorable.
Titans, Bears.
Tennessee, yeah, that's a 50-50 at home. And then you got Bears. I think they beat the Bears week 17. Bears are hanging around, though. They had a win today, which great.
They finish with they've got the Jags next week, so they'll probably win that. And then they got the Packers, so it'll be interesting.
I don't think it matters because I think Arizona are going to win out. I hope they do. I want Arizona in the playoffs. So do Arizona have the Rams? I reckon they play the Rams this week, Arizona.
They got the 49ers and then the Rams.
So I reckon they'll beat San Fran pretty comfortably. They're so banged up, San Fran. Nick Mullins is a terrible quarterback.
Yeah.
They lost to the Cowboys. Like, leave it.
Just quietly, there's another landing spot for Stafford. He's going to get paid a fortune.
He's going to get some. What is business, Rich? Supply and demand. And the supply, the demand for Matthew Stafford is high, and there is a very, very, very small supply right now. He's going to get a lot of money. I hope they cut him and let him go market. That would be gold. That'll be tough for Arizona, though. I think they win one more. They get it. Yeah, they're a game up on the Bears. They're only going to win one more game, and they're home, I think. Let's talk. Yeah, but the Bears, though, good win over Minnesota. I did not think they would beat Minnesota. Their offense has just come alive the last few weeks, just out of nowhere. All of a sudden, Trubisky is apparently a good football player.
Well, he's not, but they did kind of come out of nowhere.
They're playing a lot better. 33 points, 30 points in three straight games. I made the mistake of playing. They were so bad the last few weeks that I played the Houston Texans defense last week in fantasy thinking, the Bears are terrible. They're not going to score him. And they put 39 on the Houston Texans. I was like, yeah, thanks, Houston. Nice -5 scoreline on defense for me, but we'll leave that. But I guess the difference for me the last few weeks for the Bears, and happy to be corrected, is David Montgomery. They've run over 100 yards 3 weeks in a row. He's kind of, when you do that, it takes the ball out of Trubisky's hands a lot. Trubisky threw a terrible red zone interception on the weekend in this game as well. It was awful, which should have cost them the game, but Kirk Cousins just couldn't capitalize going the other way. But David Montgomery's emergence has been the difference in this team. They're running the ball well, takes pressure off Trubisky, takes pressure off the offensive line. You can play action more. Everyone knows more big plays are generated from play action. It's a common thing that if you run the ball well and you play action, people bite and guys get open over the top. So they've got a new formula and it's working for them. I still don't think they're a playoff team. I still don't think they can make the playoffs because they'd have to beat Green Bay. The only way that happens is if Green Bay rests all their players because they've already secured the number 1 seed in week 17. But,
can't see that happening though.
No, because I think the Saints will be right on the tail of them. I don't think they'll be able to afford to lose.
Well, the Saints finished with the Vikings and the Panthers, so the Packers aren't putting it in neutral. No way.
Absolutely not. I think Arizona. I think they beat San Fran this week, and that all but eliminates the Bears. I don't know who's got the tiebreaker if they go the same, but if Arizona win this week over San Fran, they're 9-6. Even if Chicago win this week, they're 8-7. If Arizona, I'd love to know what the tiebreaker is because I don't reckon they could.
Record. It'll be conference record.
So I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah,
to see what it is. Yeah, I'm not going to look it up now. I don't know which buttons.
Sorry, trust me. The tiebreaker is definitely conference.
Conference
wins, but they're not on the simplified playoff standings that I'm looking at right now.
They used to have road to the playoffs where it used to be like, what does Chicago do?
Someone must have written that article. Someone I'll see if I can find one.
Can I just say, though, would it surprise you, right, if they roll into Jacksonville this week and Jacksonville knock them off?
Not at all.
The Bears. It would
surprise me one bit.
The Jets would like it. The Jaguars knocked them off.
Jets
and got that
static.
Yeah, I honestly think that's a real possibility. Trubisky just goes in. They can't run the ball. Big Adam Gotsis just stops the running game on his own, and they can't run the ball anymore. And you got to get Trubisky to do it all, and he throws 3 picks. I could see that happening. They lose 20-21.
The Bears right now.
What do they need?
They are the 8th seed, so they basically have to leap over the Cardinals or the Bucks. And if they win out, they'd be tied with the Bucks, even if the Bucks lose out. So again, it's still going to come down to head-to-head. So it's going to be tough for the Bears. They're going to need, well, at least one win, but they probably need to win both, and that still might not be enough.
I've actually just found it. I found the thing that tells you what each team has to do.
The Raiders at this point almost need a miracle. You talked about their schedule, but the people that are ahead of them, it's the Browns, the Ravens, the Colts, and the Dolphins.
Thank you, NFL.com.
I love autoplay.
That was a bit of insight from, doesn't even say his name, the poor guy. Sorry, man, I'll give you a plug. But yeah, that doesn't have the Bears there. Obviously, NFL.com don't even think the Bears can have a scenario to get in. Let's talk your boys, Richie, off a win. Awful. I watched this game again this afternoon because I wanted to see how bad they were in the first half. Awful first half from Brady.
Disgusting.
But man, he put on a clinic. And I will say the defense was dreadful. In the first half and the first drive of the second half, your pass defense was terrible. Could not stop Matt Ryan. Then all of a sudden it was like they went, okay, it's the Falcons. Let's not get falconed here like every other team has. Let's because I was looking at scenarios. I'm thinking if they drop this game, they're at 9-6. Like they're starting to fall behind a bit. 8-6. They're starting to fall off. But Tom Brady was awesome in the second half. Mike Evans was outstanding. Godwin was outstanding. Also, Brown starting to find his feet in that offense now. He scored the game-winning touchdown. Brait. I think they're starting to realize that Brait might be their best tight end.
Gronk's their best tight end.
Yeah, Gronk's a better blocker, definitely. He's a better blocker guy, but I think Brait's the better all-round player right now. I still love Gronk, and I think he's got to be a part of that offense in some way. He also, actually, in saying that, he took an unbelievable catch down the left sideline over the top of when it was thrown behind the defender, and he reached over the top and grabbed him. It was impressive.
They're
Are you worried?
Yeah, big time.
Do you think they can win it?
No, I don't. I don't think we're good enough. I think we can go the second week. I think we can win a playoff game, especially for the highest wild card, and we get to go beat up on Washington.
You'll play Seattle. You want to go to NFC East, don't you? You want to finish 5.
Yes, you want 5. That's obviously the goal right now. Are we in the 5 slot or are the Rams?
Rams are after the Rams dropped from 3 to 5 after a terrible loss to the Jets.
Yeah. So,
sorry, Rams.
That's the spot you want. Because if you don't get it, you're probably then going to face the Seahawks.
Yeah. The thing was, like, if I'm the Bucks, though, I think I'd prefer the Seahawks than. Oh, sorry, you obviously want to play Washington or Giants or Cowboys or Eagles because right now they're all alive. Yes. You obviously want to play their first game, but I'd almost prefer to go to Seattle because they're a terrible defense. Like the Bucks,
and there's no crowd. No crowd.
No crowd. So I think the Bucks could put 40 on the Seahawks offense if they have a good day. They put 30 on the Falcons today in the second half. And I would almost argue that the Seahawks defense is better than Seattle's defense. Sorry, the Falcons defense is better than Seattle. Certainly on par with it. There's no big differential between them.
No, they're totally on par. As I said, you want the 5-6 and you get to play the East, but your next ones after that, it's probably then going to be Seahawks as the 3 seed and Saints maybe is the 4 if Packers take care of their business. So I don't mind going to the Saints. Like, whatever. We do it every year. So
Yeah.
I'm not particularly worried about that. I do think the Bucks can be – I do think they can win one game as a wildcard team, go into someone's house and beat them. I just don't know if they're good enough to then do it again and again.
No, it's tough. The good thing is, like, one thing you can say is Brady, I don't want to, he's been pretty good in the playoffs in the past. If there's anyone who can surprise you in the playoff, it's Tom Brady. He's got some experience winning Super Bowl playoffs, that sort of stuff.
No doubt. And I genuinely believe the Bucks are a good team. They have plenty of weapons on offense. They've got a couple of all-pros on defense. Oh, maybe one. But they've got some good players on defense as well.
They had like 4 or 5 all-pros 3 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago. They've just – something's happened on that defense. They just dropped off.
They just had I think they just had a bad few weeks. I'm hoping as they can see the light at the end of the season's tunnel, they get through. Yeah, a bunch of them got COVID listed this week, and because they were high contact, and then they got removed off it when they tested negative. But I think Ronald Jones might have it, or no, he missed. He had finger surgery. But I think they're a good team. We're going to the playoffs. We won't win the division, but we will probably win a playoff game.
I'd say so. I'd be shocked if you didn't.
I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be disappointed. See, you get yourself a wireless mic, and now you're standing there and no one can hear you. What is going on? Look at that stupid grin on your face. I'm now filling dead air while you try and fix your microphone. So for those of you tuning in for the first time, and a few weeks ago, Jay bought himself a brand new microphone. Ooh, look, it's wireless and you can walk around the room. And now he's desperately trying to solve the issue while I watch him on webcam and try and fix it. How you going there? No, it's still not working. Good thing we're not going live, so you can cut all this out later. This should be good.
Can you hear me now?
Hello, James.
Hello, Richard. So, bit of a mistake there. I forgot to charge the microphone, so it ran out of battery, which is great. Awesome. That's not the mic's fault though. It's definitely my fault. And the problem is when you plug it into the charger in your computer, it then connects to your computer. It doesn't go through the board anymore. It goes straight through the actual computer. So, yeah, well played, James. Quickly get on to our last topic. That is the Eagles, who, after a loss to the Cardinals, which I couldn't have been happier with, look like they are all but done in the NFC East race. 4-9-1. They're behind the Giants, behind the Cowboys are now second. They're second in the division, Rich. They jumped 5 draft spots today with that win over the 49ers. I loved it. I love when the Cowboys win. I love when my team wins. It's way more fun. But this is surely Washington's to lose. They can't lose this. Who have they got running home?
So Washington are going to finish with the Panthers and the Eagles. I think the Eagles are completely shot, and they're a game clear on the Cowboys, who finish with the Eagles and the Giants. So Cowboys would have to win out. We got to find a loss for Washington. It won't be the Panthers.
So the Cowboys 1 game behind Washington?
Yeah, you got to win out. You need Washington to drop a game.
No, they need to lose out because Washington have swept us this year.
Oh, not even a tiebreaker.
Yeah,
so
both games they have to lose.
Hang on, but Washington can win 1. And no, sorry, you're right. They got to lose out. You got to win out. It's done.
Yep.
It's Washington.
We have to finish 9-7.
Can the Giants catch them? They're the same record as you. Who has their tiebreaker? They got the Ravens. They got the Ravens.
Yeah, I think the Ravens will touch them up this week. I think it's Washington's. I think comfortably too.
Me too.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks ago, we basically declared it would probably be the Giants division. But thanks to back-to-back losses, obviously one to the Cards and one to the Browns. Looks like it's going to be all Washington.
Do you think Washington can win a playoff game?
No, I don't.
No, I don't think anyone who wins this. Out of curiosity, all 4 teams, who do you think would be the best chance of winning a playoff game?
Out of Washington, Cowboys, Giants, and Eagles?
Yeah.
Washington. Their defense is outstanding.
Their offense is deplorable, though.
Agreed.
If Cowboys had Prescott?
Cowboys.
Yeah. Dalton played very... I know it's like San Fran got a lot of injuries. Not a lot of them on defense, though. Dalton played very well against San Fran today. You don't
have to prepare for Dalton like you have to prepare for Prescott. Easy as that.
Correct. If you've got a week to prepare for Dalton, yeah, it's not. I don't. And I said he played in a lot of playoff games in Cincinnati and never won one. Ever.
Sure did. Did.
I think that's it, though, Rich. Last couple of weeks are going to be massive. You're off next week. We've got poor DJ.
I'll be back in for the last
one. So we might try and get a full crew together for that one. But poor DJ was meant to be in Sydney this week, and obviously due to Sydney going back, he couldn't go and see family up there, which was upsetting.
No Rona.
No, but it is Christmas.
Bub's first Christmas too.
I know. I felt really sorry for him. So, yeah, terrible news for poor Deej. But we'll get Deej and hopefully Julio back in the studio next week. I'm not sure what his plans are with his 97 and a half kids. I'll explain
that. We will be season wrap up.
Yeah, season wrap up.
Into playoff preview.
It'll be Black Monday. There'll be so many coaches.
When do the playoffs start?
The week in. There's no break between the playoffs.
There's no break?
I don't think so. I don't think there's a week off. I think go straight into the wild card round. Actually, the Super Bowl's a week further away this year. It's the 7th in Australia. Monday. It was the 7th in America too, I should say.
So the wild card round starts on the 9th of the 1st. So
that'd be
no week off.
And there's no extra round, is there? No, because everyone still plays the same amount of games. It's just an extra game in that first week. Yep. First week playoffs will be awesome. It'll be really good. There'll be 6 games.
6 games instead of 4 for the first time ever.
It'll be 6, 4, 2, 1.
Yeah, instead of 4-4.
Yeah,
so two extra games they've managed to squeeze in.
I'm surprised they didn't try and have a wild card week the first week, like baseball do, like a wild card game to decide. They do. So with baseball, there's 2 wild card gets in and they play each other off. I was surprised they didn't make the 7 seed play the 6 seed or something to get in to extend it another week. I would have hated that. Yeah,
I don't think anyone would watch it. And once again, it would have been a weekend where you've only got 2 games.
Yeah, it'd be crap. And they wouldn't necessarily be great games either. They'd be 2 this season they potentially be good because there's good playoff teams, but there's going to be years where,
theoretically that would be like Cardinals, Bucks.
Wouldn't be a terrible game.
No, not terrible, but
or Dolphins, Colts, something like that. Ravens,
personally, see, baseball can play that on a random Tuesday.
Yeah.
Whereas with the NFL, you want that first weekend to be just bang. You want it to be huge. So there's going to be basically, my understanding is the schedule is going to be a 1 o'clock, a 4 o'clock, and a night game on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Be great. It'll be a great week. Very excited.
It's going to be awesome. And we get games on Boxing Day because we've got some Saturday games coming up this weekend too.
Yeah, so Christmas is Friday, yeah?
Yeah.
So it'd be not Boxing Day. Sunday.
I thought there was a Christmas game this year. I must be wrong.
Well, hold on, let me get the schedule up. I'm a long way away from my computer screen now because my wireless mic went off. Not sure if you heard. Week 16, there's a Saturday game. That's Sunday our time. No. Sorry, this is in our time. So yeah, there's a Saturday 8:30 a.m. game. There's a Christmas Day game in America. Vikings at Saints.
Thought there was.
And then Sunday, our time, we've got 5 a.m. Bucks at Lions, 8:30 49ers at Cardinals, 12:15 Dolphins at Raiders. We might need to go up to get a few of the boys together and go up to the pub and watch them, Rich, on Sunday.
Oh, could we talk into that?
I don't reckon I'd have to twist your arm too hard.
No, probably not.
Yeah, that's it. So that's the schedule, guys. Everyone, make sure you have a fantastic Christmas. Safe, happy, all the above. Hope you get everything you want from Santa. I'm really shattered, Richie, because your daughter's not quite old enough yet, probably, but I've been using the Santa's watching bribe very heavily the last few days. And I don't know what I'm going to do after Christmas. Does it work with the Easter money?
No, you just take it off them.
Yeah.
So Santa might have given it to you, but I can take it away.
Santa's given me this letter that says that I can take it off you if you're naughty. Yeah, that's all right. So that'll buy me a few more hours.
Peaceful minutes.
Oh, there's nothing peaceful. Nothing peaceful at the moment. I've gone on holidays for the next 3 weeks, and I kind of wish I was back at work, to be honest. Although I don't know who's bigger babies, my 2-year-old and 4-year-old, or the tradesman at my work. So we'll see.
All tradies, mate.
All tradies are. Now, make sure everyone have a happy Christmas, safe Christmas. We'll be recording, I think, just before New Year's next week, so you will hear us before New Year's. But yeah, make sure everyone have a great Christmas and enjoy your time. If you're driving places, just drive safely. Don't have too many drinks because you don't want to be that family that goes off the road on Christmas Day. So make sure you look after yourself. And Richie, what's your plans, mate, with Christmas?
Sticking it out, hanging out home, see some family.
Yeah, nothing exciting.
No.
I feel like that's kind of the best part. It's not going to be great weather. It's going to be okay weather.
Watch my daughter open presents. That's all I'm doing.
Having kids, like Christmas in the past has been pretty boring, but once you've got kids, it kind of makes it exciting again when they, think Santa's coming and all that sort of stuff. So it rejuvenates Christmas a little bit. I think my wife enjoys it more than my kids do.
My daughter's going to be stoked when she gets her PlayStation 5.
Is she really?
I couldn't get one.
Is there a PlayStation 5 coming to your family?
No, there's not. We did everything to try and get one.
You could just go and buy an Xbox.
I could throw myself off a cliff and get the same experience.
There's people buying Xboxes, right? And then putting it up saying, I'll trade instantly for a PlayStation. I don't even care if it's used. That's how desperate people are for them. Very funny.
Xbox.
That's it from us, Rich, mate. Thanks for being here tonight. Absolute pleasure as always. And have a good Christmas, and we'll speak to you in a couple of weeks.
You too, mate.